Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday morning. Is it still morning? Afternoon. There you go. Already off to a strong start. It's a hot one today. So if you are out and about, whatever you're doing, plenty of water. I'm not your mum, but I'm going to tell you, all right? In this video, we're talking a little bit about the sort of failed transfer of Palhinha to Bayern Munich. And what happens in January? Okay, so I've got an update around their interest in Palhinha, who in turn has an interest in Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. So I'm definitely going to be talking a little bit about that and kind of giving my idea of what might happen come January when it comes to the midfield area. I've spoken in other videos. I've even messaged people back on the comment section to say that even though I think midfield might be an area we look at to improve on, I still think of centre-back being the biggest area of attention now. And even if Ashley Phillips turns out to be a great player, I still think it's the area of attention. But in this video, I'm not talking defenders, I'm talking midfielders. So let's jump in. So this came from Nizar Kinsella of the Standard Sport, and he's put out an article on it, basically stating Bayern Munich are ready to relaunch João Palhinha move with Fulham open to exit amid interest in Scott McTominay and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. If you're not aware, basically, Palhinha was all set to move to Bayern Munich, deal agreed, medicals, all that stuff basically was done. It was just on Fulham to get themselves a replacement. And the two guys that we are linked, that they're linked to there in Scott McTominay and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, basically, they didn't want to go to Fulham. Then in turn, if you can't get a replacement in, you're not going to sell someone for the sake of selling it when he's kind of one of your key players. You do need to replace him. So obviously that move fell apart, but it's not to say that move doesn't come back around in January. You know, if you think of the positives of Bayern Munich is, well, Bayern Munich will be able to see more of him, but also Bayern Munich knows he's not going to be cup tied. He's going to have no issues getting logged in for their Champions League knockout squad. Because let's be honest, you should expect Bayern Munich to get through groups always, no matter who's in it. So it's something that I think they'll probably will go back in for. And do you know what? Maybe they might even get a few quid off because it's for 6 months further down the line. It's 6 months further down on his contract. They even might get a few quid off of him. But when we talk about the situation of the guys they're interested in, Højbjerg's better than McTominay, first and foremost. But let's talk about Højbjerg. I think Højbjerg, 6 months is a long time in football. You know, he wanted a Champions League club. He wanted to move to a club who going to guarantee him first team football, play a lot of football, because the guy is very much used to playing week in, week out. I mean, like I said, of 150 games before this season started, he has played in 145 of them. So the guy is so used to regular football. I think this season he's going to struggle for regular football. He's definitely going to struggle for starting minutes. He'll get the odd 15, 20 minutes here and there. But when you're so used to starting games of football, that really is an issue for you, right? And he's 28, he's in the prime of his career, he's going to want to play playing week in, week out, right? So I think because of the fact that he's going to have this 6 month window between summer window, January window, I say 6 months, it's not, but you get what I mean, right? In terms of 6 months, because he knew in the summer he's probably not going to be playing as much as he thinks, right? So if we think September, October, November, December, and into January, it's 5 months. Shoot me, I was 1 month off. I'm so sorry. He's going to know in this next 5 month window, right, I'm not playing that much. I definitely need to look at my options. And I talked in a previous video yesterday about how the Atletico Madrid bid was really not anything of Spurs' interest. They were never really close to getting into any kind of deep negotiations for Højbjerg. Fulham, I think, will have not only the interest and funds to go get Højbjerg, but I think they'll even offer him more playtime than Atletico Madrid could kind of offer him. I think he knows that if he's going in there to be Palhinha's replacement, he's going to look at Palhinha's minutes and go, God, that guy played 90 minutes all the while he was fit and suspension free. I think he's going to look at that and go, that's a great opportunity for me. And there's no reason why, and this isn't a dig at Fulham or any team that he might go to, there's no reason why he can't take that as a stepping stone to that last big move, right? Yes, he's at Spurs. Yes, maybe he goes to Fulham for a year and a half. He's going to be 29, 30 years old. He'll still get a decent move if he really plays well to a Champions League club. for a few years, and then, do you know what? He might go back to Denmark, he might go Saudi Arabia, MLS, whatever, and cash in, right? I think this is a move that does come back around, and what that in turn leads to, I think, is an interesting concept to think about. I think you've got the midfield three as we've got right now. You've got Lo Celso being Maddison's backup. You Skip being Bissouma's backup. In theory, Højbjerg is the Pape Matar Sarr backup. In a couple of time, he's going to be backup to the backups, you know. He's going to be sitting behind Bentancur. And Bentancur might even take over starting place. You never know on that. The guy's a good presser, lots of energy, definitely can play good enough football. And in a system where he's not bogged down and locked to a position, and he's got the ability to go box to box, he's a great box-to-box midfielder. So we're going to have options there, and Højbjerg's just not going to be that option. So I do think we cash in on him this summer. Now, I talked in other comments about how, this is a big year for Skip. I think there's no more, he's a young player, give him time. He's been at Spurs now a little while. He's had time. We now need to see that development this year, I think. Because I think he has ability to improve. I think he has a ceiling that he has not reached. But if he stagnates again another year and kind of just continues on this sort of horizontal path, I think Spurs will look to cash in on him, you know. I think that's an interesting part, but I think that'll be the summer following. I don't think it'll be January. So I think in January, the most important thing is, do you go and think about a replacement for Højbjerg? And I don't know, because look, if you've got 6 central midfielders that can play in there, and people talk about Kulusevski playing a number 8 role. For me, I'm not interested in that. I think he's a right winger, false 9 at a maximum. The whole idea that he's a wing back, I never really understood either, to be honest. But I don't know if you really need to replace anyone in there. Unless Bentancur really drops off the face of the earth and he's not good anymore, that's maybe somewhere that you would look, but I don't know if you really do. It might be one of those that you've got a guy sitting in the under 18s, 19s that you go, yeah, he's not bad. Let's bring him along for a few games. You know, we're 3-0 up. I'll chuck him on for 10 minutes. Let's see what he's about. You know, it's how we've always done it. It's how I think Ange's philosophy is always, if you get him in earlier, you'll see earlier what they've got. You'll know if you need to get anyone in. That's what he's looking at Ashley Phillips at centre-half with. But I think if everything goes the way I think it will go with midfield, and Bentancur coming back and being good, you still got the sell, so Skip giving you good minutes, but Bissouma hopefully staying fit. I don't know if you actually look to replace the midfield this year. And the more I think about it, the more we talked about Conor Gallagher, and the more I realise Bentancur's better than Gallagher. Bentancur's better than Pape Matar Sarr. Bentancur's better than Bissouma. We look on the last year or so, you have evidence of Bentancur being probably on for a midfield team of the season potential. He was fantastic. Our season fell apart when he got injured. You got to remember, we were in all competitions. We were on Man City's tail. It was my birthday. I remember it. He ruptured his ACL. I'm in the pub. I'm like, oh, for God's sake. Because he went down and you could see something was wrong straight away. And I've ruptured my ACL. I know how it feels. It's horrific. And he went down, and the fact he could, we could barely walk. And you're like, right, well, that's probably the season done. And then lo and behold, a month later, we're God knows how many points behind City. We're out of all competitions. You saw how crucial he was to our team. So I think Spurs will go centre-back. I think that's the key area. I mean, Tosin Adarabioyo never moved to Monaco. What's going on there? I know Tapsoba signed a new contract, but a lot of the time when players sign a new contract, it's the club going, look, thank you for staying here. Let's give you a pay rise and we'll let you go next summer when we still get the value that we want from you, right? All clubs have done that. Literally all clubs have done that. We've even done that in the past. Big clubs have done that in the past. That's what PSG want to do with Mbappe. So I think they'll go centre-back. I don't know where we go centre-back-wise. I think, look, if Ashley Phillips turns out to be a half-decent centre-back, then you're looking at only getting in one centre-back to be the backup to Mickey van der Ven. Because then you might say, look, we've got Davies who can kind of float left-back, centre-back when we need him, but we've got an actual centre-back who's going to be there, and he's going to be the guy to get behind van der Ven if anything happens to him. So we'll have to wait and see, but I'm interested to see what happens with the whole Højbjerg situation. I don't see him being here next summer. He might even play the whole season here, but I don't think he'll be starting next season here at Spurs, that's for sure. He's got 2 years left on his deal. You're going to want to cash in on him. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section below about the Højbjerg situation. Do you see him being here in January? Do you see him being here next season? Let me know below. I'll also do a international roundup as games go on. I know there's not really any games today. It starts all tomorrow, so we'll be talking about that really sort of Friday onwards. I'll give you an idea who's playing, but we'll talk sort of performances from Friday onwards. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.